Hey, shalom, shalom, shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shai Bashim, Wahaba Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Many blessings and salutations to the hopeful elect, the house of David, the Bayoff that would die for whom these epistles are written for in these last days. Shalom to the elect. This is going to be a quick lesson. As you can see on the screen, it's just complete madness. Complete madness and yet another strike against Esau and his kingdom, man. This guy is uncouth. He's pretty much just run amok, man. The earth is literally truly given into the hand of the wicked. He's doing whatever he wants, and then he's making it seem like it's just an accident. Shit just goes wrong. I did a little light research on it or whatever, and this shit has been happening for the last 20 years. You know what I'm saying? And they actually have a movie based upon it called Outbreak in 1995. Okay, you can look it up. Based upon this very subject. And now they're just going to, how on the left hand side they have their luminaries, right? They call it the Illuminati, whatever. But the point is, they try to emulate the scriptures and they try to play the Most High to the best of their ability. So they'll have some shit come out in a cartoon like The Simpsons, or something lighthearted, and then later on it'll actually happen, and people will point back to that cartoon and be like, "Well, it is prophetic." Well, actually, the elite were working behind the scenes doing the whole thing in the first place, setting it all up. So, with that being said, let's get in a little bit into this article. We're gonna play like a minute two video, and we'll get out of here. Nothing too major, just Esau being the devil. All right, so this is from USA News, USA Today. All right, it says multiple monkeys on the loose in St. Louis, health officials say. And you know what this is setting up? This is setting up possibly another pandemic, all right, where they're going to release some type of virus and blame it on the monkeys, okay, which they're the ones that actually, set it up for that situation to happen. And if you know anything about the Midwest, St. Louis is a real Jake heavy city, man, okay? So not only they get two for one, all right, they get to blame the monkeys and the monkeys, if you get what I'm saying. All right, it says several vervet monkeys have escaped and remain at large in O'Fallon Park in North St. Louis. Insane. Like I said, St. Louis is a real Jake heavy city. It's not as Jake heavy as Atlanta, but it's pretty Jake heavy. Because a lot of Jakes from Chicago come down to St. Louis because it's relatively a short drive. I would say about 90 to 100 miles, not that far away. And in Indianapolis, it's like a little triangle. You know what I'm saying? So, those Jakes travel in between those cities or whatever, back and forth. And so when they have this happen in St. Louis, a lot of things can go wrong. Now, we know that through the Spirit, this is all according to the Spirit, and this is what the Lord has set up, what he wanted to do and what he's going to do, because Jake has to learn the hard way, 2/3 anyway, okay? 2/3 got to learn the hard way. All right, when the Lord says something, you better do it, okay? So in the article it says, multiple monkeys are on the loose in St. Louis, Missouri, according to city health officials, who are advising residents to not approach the wild animals. I would not want to do that in the first place. Okay, Jake won't even approach a dog that's on the loose without a leash. Why the fuck would he approach a monkey? Anyway, it says as of Saturday, January 10th, an unknown number of monkeys, they know the number. It says remain at large around the vicinity of O'Fallon Park in North City, located in North St. Louis. Justin Hauser, the city environmental health services bureau chief, said in a news release. This is original reports indicated there were 4 monkeys, but officials cannot confirm an actual number at this time. Let's just get the obvious, man. Okay. So when this type of stuff goes on, man, please understand who's speaking and where they're coming from when they speak. He's the devil. He's deceiving you into thinking that this was an accident when it was orchestrated the whole time. Now, do we have proof of that? No. We're under captivity just like you. But we can also confidently say that Job 9 and 24 applies here. Okay? This is Job 9 and 24. It says, the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? That's right. So he'll say, well, this is just a natural accident. Blah, 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 blah. But when you do a little light research, there's always this subject popping up not every year, but every other year. Okay, because I looked at a news article from 14 years ago, and there was escape monkeys, escape primates, right? Then they'll have the subject, Jumanji on the loose. Okay, remember that movie came out in '95, Jumanji. Okay, basically, them letting you know that they're gonna open up these zoos when all hell breaks loose. Okay, and these animals are gonna go ape shit. No no pun intended. They're gonna go ape shit on you, Jakes, you so-called Blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, because in most heavily populated city centers, okay, there's a zoo right there. In the case of Atlanta, you have the Atlanta Zoo, then you have the aquarium, okay, where they keep crocs and all types of, all types of things. So imagine they're gonna let this shit loose on the people, man. Okay, it's gonna be not smart to be out in the city at that time. All right, it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. If he covereth he covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he, man? Okay, that's a rhetorical question at the end. We all know who the devil is. Okay, he's showing his hand right now. He's the one causing upheaval like this in the earth, man. And everybody's looking around like, how the fuck is escape monkeys out just scrolling around with whatever type of disease Esau done shot him up in the lab with. Okay, this is Revelation 6 and 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him to take peace from the earth. This is not a peaceful time. Especially you Israelites that are out here talking about we need to build as Israelites together, but your doctrine is different than mine. Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here. Okay? Let's read that again. Revelation 6 and 4. And there went out another horse that was red, which represents Esau, and power was given unto him. That horse represents power. So power was given unto Esau. Okay? And back in Genesis 27 and 41, he was blessed with the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven. I keep saying that. And how did he get that blessing? He got it through the Roman Empire. When you go to Daniel 2 and 40, okay, that's how he became, that blessing came to pass. And not only that, it was a two-part blessing, right? Because he would rule the entire earth. Now, at that time during the Roman Empire, he did not rule the entire earth. He ruled the entire known earth. Okay, that's a difference, all right? Because at that time, America was not an actual place yet known on the earth, okay? But now, when he fell for a time, okay, and that was about 1,100 years, that's in Revelation 20, okay? He came back for a little season. Okay, and starting in that little season was the Renaissance period. Remember, Esau talks a lot about the Renaissance, a lot. He teaches that in school religiously, okay? But what he doesn't tell you is that what pre-dawned the Renaissance period was the time of the Dark Ages, and we already know what that's talking about. He's making fun of Jake. The Byzantine Empire, which Byzantine means backwards. Okay. So we had all that understanding. All right, so now leading up to now, he's ruling the earth by the sword, according to Genesis 27 and 41. He's ruling it with a iron like fist, that military, but he's also using his media. Shit like this is going to spin into, well, this was an accident and blah, blah, blah. But really, he's setting it up for when all hell breaks loose. He's going to have his robots out here. He's going to have these animals let loose. Because these Edomites already Antifa, all these type of groups, they're gonna be the main ones releasing the animals, man. They're gonna claim that this is unfair treatment, okay, of the animals. And you know how Esau feel about his dogs. How much more a crocodile, okay? A goddamn what that is, a Komodo dragon, okay? It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given unto him to take peace from the earth, that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another, and there was given to him a great sword. I mean, I don't have to break that down, okay? At this point, he just is what he is. Okay, this is 2 Thessalonians 2:3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So he's sitting on the throne right now, acting as he's the only one, and he's the only one that's been forever, which he knows history, and he knows that's not true. Okay. Back in the article. Cannot confirm an actual number at this time, only that there is more than one, according to Hauser. Further reports have suggested that the animals are still in the vicinity of the O'Fallon Park neighborhood, he added. An animal care and control officer was dispatched to the neighborhood on Thursday, January 8th, but was unable to find the monkeys, Hauser said. On Friday, January 9th, several officers patrolled the area based on further reports of sightings, but they still were unable to locate the animals, he continued. If you want to get this, if you want to get the full article, you can go to USA Today. Okay, this is absolutely a joke. Esau's a joke, man. But he's ruling the entire earth. But you got Israelites over here talking about we need to build together here in America, man. But he rules America. Shut up. Wow.
To do the same.
Sorry about this. Yeah, but the point is, you understand that this is more going towards prophecy, man. Okay.
Update regarding an officer-involved shooting that occurred earlier this evening at Methodist Hospital within the confines of the 7-8 precinct.
All right, so you get the point. Let's play a quick little video dealing with this, but not specifically this situation, because this only happened 2 months ago in the video. But now you have a current situation right now where the monkeys, quote unquote, they say 4, but really they don't know. They just threw a number out there. See, that's what happens when the devil rules over you, okay? He just feeds you bullshit, and you expect more of the same bullshit, okay? Because that's what you've been eating as a diet. When somebody feeds you hot dogs and calls it pizza, damn it, you're going to be upset when you see an actual pizza, all right?
There. Tonight, an urgent search to find 3 lab monkeys still on the loose.
Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. If you want to watch more videos from this fine establishment, NBC News, all right, fair use, you can go to their YouTube channel. They got okay content, right, pertaining to the news. But the point is, this we're talking about is biblically sound. We're just going into the scriptures and explaining why things like this are going on.
We got 21 monkeys that was on this truck.
The primates escaped Tuesday afternoon when a truck carrying them crashed on the interstate in Jasper County, Mississippi.
These monkeys could be dangerous.
Police issuing a chilling warning to the community after the driver said they were Tulane University research monkeys and might be infected with highly infectious diseases.
We've got law enforcement with guns here.
But Tulane later clarifying, saying while they provide monkeys for research, the primates in question belong to another entity and are not infectious. Authorities say most of the escaped monkeys were put down as they search for the missing. Meanwhile, a different wild escape in Texas. This time, a pet monkey spooking customers at a Halloween store.
My daughter looked up and she said, "What in the world?" And she's like, "Is that a real monkey?"
The animal seen swinging, crawling, and darting around, turning the store into a jungle gym. Ultimately caught, not with a banana, but with a cookie. Monkeys out of their element as their escapes go viral. Kathy Park, NBC News.
We think
This is what happens when you allow the devil to be in charge of the entire earth. Okay? And he's destroying this place, man. He's destroying it. But we don't feel bad for him, okay? We don't feel bad for him, man. Because this was prophesied to be a part of his downfall. That he was going to just go ape shit, no pun intended, okay? And just do whatever he wants to do because he has the power to do so. This is Revelation 11:18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, all right, which is the Israelites, that they should be judged, or actually the Edomites. But anyway, it says that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, which are the prophets. The prophets, it says, and to the saints, which is the elect. It says, and them that fear thy name, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. That is the ultimate goal here. That's what we want to see. We don't want to see anything less. The devil has outlived his usefulness. He's judged us. We've went into captivity. We've done all the hard work, built up America. We've worked for free. We're still in captivity. We're working round the clock, barely have enough time to sleep. This captivity is almost up. And the devil can feel that. That's why he's going crazy, because all hell's gonna break loose. Okay, people. If your camp ain't telling you, if the leaders of your camp ain't telling you why all this crazy shit is going on and what times we're in, you're following a false prophet. Jeremiah 30:7, it says, alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. That's right. So you can see all the madness that is going on in the earth, and you can associate it with the prophecy of Esau being in rulership at that time. The son of perdition is ruling the entire earth right now. Okay? The little child from Children of the Corn is ruling the entire earth with an iron-like grip. And everybody's suffering under his madness. Okay? That's how you can have escaped monkeys. You know what I'm saying? Right? That's how you can have this type of stuff going on. And it fits another prophecy too. Okay? Because the Lord is using the devil to do exactly what he's doing, because you, Jakes, 2/3 of the nation of Israel need to feel the pain of death. Okay? You need to feel that pain, because like scripture says, death is better than continual sickness, man. You sick in the head. You think that you are so-called black, Latino, and Native American. You call yourself foundational black American. You call yourself all these things. You are sick in your head. And even worse than the sickness itself, you have drank all the wine of Babylon, which is the philosophies, the understanding, and the way to govern. You've drunk all that wine, and now you're thinking, well, we don't need to see America destroyed. We just need to rebuild it in a different image. We did that before. It's called the Holy Roman Empire. When the Western Roman Empire fell, guess what rose out of the ashes from that? The Holy Roman Empire. And that led to what? The Byzantine Empire, which Esau calls the Dark Ages. That's when you so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans were ruling, or actually the Southern Kingdom was ruling the known earth at that time under the understanding of Roman systems. We're not bringing that into the kingdom. Escaped monkeys is not going to be a thing in our kingdom, okay? Taking a VAX just to assure that no, that's not going to be a thing in the kingdom, okay? This is Ecclesiasticus, also known as Sirach 39 and 28. It says, there be spirits that are created from vengeance, which in their fury lay on sore strokes. And that's what's going to happen to a lot of you jakes, man. You're going to get caught up. All you that think you better than the law, statutes, commandments, okay? You're a Christian. You look down your nose at the Old Testament. We're going to see in that day. It says, in the time of destruction, they pour on they pour out their force and appease the wrath of him that made them. Fire and hail and famine and death, all these were created for vengeance. This is teeth of wild beasts and scorpions, serpents, and the sword, punishing the wicked to destruction. They shall rejoice in the commandment, in his commandments. It says, and they shall be ready upon earth when need is. And when their time is come, they shall not transgress his word. That's right. So you think that this is just a coincidence? You think this is just a coincidence, huh? Nah. The Lord has the thing going down. Remember, there was a movie about this very same subject in 1995. You can look it on YouTube. It was called Outbreak. Also, there's another movie called Jumanji. That's the one we all grew up and knew, right? We thought that was funny until you realize that's going to be an actual scenario. Okay? That's going to be an actual scenario out here. Okay? And Esau is planning that day. Meanwhile, he's going to be in his bunkers, all right? And he's going to be releasing all these animals. Some of them, you got them, the lynx, okay, ligers, oh my. Yeah, they're going to release them all. And Jake going to be out here trying to fight off the nigga trying to break in his house. But then also you got to fight off when or the Jakes that go out and, searching around. They're going to have to fight off lions and tigers and bears. Oh my. Okay. So, hey, man. But for the elect, this is not for you. Okay, this is for the destruction of the 2/3 on this side. They'll be okay in the kingdom. Right now, they need to be done away with. Death is better than continual sickness. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh B'Shem Al Shai, B'Shem Muharakakadash, Shalom to the elect.